administration says that as soon as next month, they're going to be ending the legal status of more than 500,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. If they don't leave before losing that status, they could be targets for deportation. So these migrants were allowed into this country legally under a program from the Biden administration.
If there ever was a definition of fuck around and find out, we have just found it. Where are my Miami Cubans at, huh? Where are you guys at? Because you guys were loud and proud back then. Where are you at now?
Hey, all Diversity Central fam. How are you doing? Hope you are doing great. Welcome back to the channel. Now, Cubans for Trump, F around, and now they have found out. This is after Trump administration revoked the program that was implemented by Joe Biden. The program allowed immigrants from Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua to work in the United States. The program allowed those immigrants to have temporary legal status. It worked that you had to be vetted, work in the United States and have a financial sponsor. And now Trump has decided that no, and he has revoked that program, and more than 500,000 people now are going back to have to be deported. And guys, this is what black people used to warn you against, but you still did not listen to them. You came out in large numbers and still voted for Trump. And I usually ask you, when you used to hear Trump say there was going to be mass deportation, whom did you think was going to be deported? I know many of you thought that Trump was referring to black people when he said that there was going to be mass deportation. Now you see the consequences of whatever you voted for. Yes, so fam, without further ado, let's dive direct into the video, and at the same time let me know what you think about this down in the comment section. I'll be right back.
La fefa cubano! It's not that these fuckers didn't think the leopards would eat their face. They thought they were fucking leopards. Earlier this week, the Trump administration removed a program that Biden had implemented that allowed temporary legal status of immigrants from Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua. The program, implemented by Biden, worked that you had to be vetted, work here, and have a financial sponsor. Trump decided no go. And 530,000 people who came here for temporary legal status to work are now going to have to leave. Their status has been revoked and they will have 30 days to get the fuck out. So the Cubans for Trump, how'd this work out for you? That red wave that went through Florida, you could ride that bitch all the way back to Cuba. We tried to fucking tell you. I don't understand. Folks from Cuba that want to avoid an authoritative communistic regime like Castro somehow gravitate to the fucking Republicans. Look at these fucking assholes down here. Look at these flags on this fucking boat. You think that Trump in any way is going to help anyone that's not white? Cubans aren't light enough. To Trump and the people in power, you're nothing but la cucarachas.
So this is what I'm trying to understand here. What did Cubans who voted for Trump think? Did they think they were special? Did they think that Trump, who had been saying for months, even years, that TPS was not a legal way to come into the country, who thought that everybody from Latin America was munching of the government, who talked about the largest deportation in history, was going to just look the other way when it came to Cubans? Because what? Because they're special? These are the same Cubans that for a while kept talking about Mexicans and Central Americans and South Americans and saying that we were munching of the government for some weird reason, when most immigrants don't munch of the government because they don't even have a social security number. But well, I digress. The point is this. The guy told you straight up what he was going to do. And you thought you were exempt of whatever measure he wanted to take. And you didn't care about the rest of the people that were going to get hurt. And you still don't. And now you're crying on social media saying that they're illegally taking the people that he promised to pardon you if you had like some guys, or say like if you had a college degree, then or you were going to school. What do they think? Do the rest of us don't have education, or do the rest of us don't speak multiple languages? We do. And most of us work hard and have an organized life. It's not like Cubans are the exception to everybody else. That's what happens. When you feel you're special like this, for no valid reason whatsoever, then when reality sets in, it feels like a brick right across your face. So you're in the find out phase. Because you guys voted for this, and you guys supported this. You guys supported a guy who put the embargo back on your island. And now the people that you have down there are suffering. Now you can't go visit him anymore. And on top of that, you're getting deported over there. So you voted for the guy who set up the embargo to send you back again to that embargo that you escaped from. So don't come crying. I'm Alex. This is my rant, and I'm out.
Trump administration says that as soon as next month, they're going to be ending the legal status of more than 500,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. If they don't leave before losing that status, they could be targets for deportation. So these migrants were allowed into this country legally under a program from the Biden administration.
If there ever was a definition of fuck around and find out, we have just found it. Where are my Miami Cubans at, huh? Where are you guys at? Because you guys were loud and proud back then. Where are you at now? He had you all fooled, saying that the deportations were only for the bad people, the unalivers, the rapists, the ones bringing drogas into the country, right? He had you guys so fucking fooled. It was only the bad people. And now you guys fucked around and found out because you voted him in, and now look it. Y'all thought because your skin was light enough that you were going to get away with the deportations. But now that it's affecting you all, you're all on the internet boo-hooing and crying. Why are we going back to this country? Why are you sending me back? I did this the right way. He doesn't give a shit. When are you going to learn? If you're brown, if you speak Spanish, he wants you fucking gone. Gone. And now you fuck around and you found out.
So this message is for the Latinos who voted for Trump, more specifically the Cubanos. See, I told you. Now your asses are going to be sent back to your fucking country. You're going to lose all your businesses, livelihoods, all your friends. All because you thought you were fucking light-skinned enough to go ahead and get a free fucking pass. How does it feel now, huh? To have somebody tell you that you don't fucking belong here. For someone to tell you that even though you got signed work to be here, that they're going to go ahead and revoke it. Crazy, right? And now this is the consequences of your fucking actions because you wanted to be a fucking pick-me. And when you're back in Cuba and you're sitting there wondering what the fuck happened or how things went wrong, remember, you did this. This is your fault. This is your problem that you need to deal with now.
Cubans for Trump. It's not a clapback. I'm not trying to fight with you. We had enough words before, during, and after the election. I know that you've been living your life by putting, and like most Trumpsters, you put your head in the sand, only listen to Fox News, and he's banking on that. And you haven't been paying attention to what's going on in the world. Trump, as of about 7 hours ago, revoked the parole program for more than 500,000 Cubans, Haitian, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. And that's not the bad part of this, right? The bad part about this is that he's given everyone, as of March 25th, 30 days to leave this country on your own. If not, Homeland Security and ICE are coming for you. Go look it up. Article is right here. Now, I'm entitled to, and I told you so. I don't take any pleasure in telling you this news. I try to help you before the election, because had we had Kamala Harris, this would not be happening to you, and it would not be happening to me, because I know goddamn well I'm next. I'm Puerto Rico. I'm fucking next. Somehow, some way, my ass is next. So, with that being said, you've had your head in the sand and you haven't been paying attention to the news because all you listen to is Fox News. Well, what has been happening is that undocumented immigrants, or those that he has now deemed no longer welcome in the country, have been rounded up, but they're not being sent back to their countries. They're being sent to El Salvador because Marco Rubio, one of your own, made an agreement with El Salvador and the president that's Arab, and made an agreement that that's where they're going to send the deportees. That center is one of the worst prisons in the world, known as the confinement of terrorism. And that's where he's sending people without any criminal records. Just go look it up. And maybe you were one of those Cubans that was clapping your hands. That's exactly what needs to happen, but that's about what's going to happen to you if you do not willingly deport yourself out of this country. I tried to tell you a week ago in another video that you needed to start making other arrangements other than the United States. And I know none of you chimed in. None of you want to hear. I'm pretty sure most of you got me blocked. You need to put your girl down as somebody you need to listen to, because what I've said to you up to date is absolutely accurate as I called it. With that being said, please know that birthright citizens are next, and so are naturalized citizens, and so are green card holders. I told you before the election, he only wanted your vote, and now he's proven it. He don't give a damn. You voted in can't even say it. You voted a dictator, just like Fidel Castro, into office, and now you're seeing the cruelty of what it is to be a dictator. I don't want to see you separated from your kids, and I most definitely do not want to see you end up in that prison. Please heed my warning. Start making arrangements for a country other than the United States, because within the next couple of months, this country will not accept you anymore, and I don't give a fuck what your citizen status is. But y'all have a blessed day.
I have always said that stupid people are the most dangerous people on this entire planet. I don't trust dumb people. I avoid stupid people like a ticking time bomb with no timer, because you're not sure when they're going to go off. You can guarantee they're going to go off, you just don't know when. Let me be very clear about this. Stupid has nothing to do with diplomas or degrees or jobs. I have met morons with Ivy League paper plastered all over their walls in frames who couldn't navigate a moral choice if you drew it for them on a map. Stupid people walk around through life oblivious to the damage they cause. They're the ones who vote against their own interests. They think they're always right, and that's the problem. That right there is the real poison. Because when you're stupid and you do things like vote against your own self-interests, you become the puppet, pulled by fear, pulled by propaganda, by whatever authority pats you on the head and says, "You're doing a great job, vote for me." I would sooner sit next to a hateful, racist person than a stupid person. At least the racists know who they are. They're gonna spew venom for sure, but there's a twisted kind of honesty to them. You know where you stand with them. You know exactly where the landmines are. With stupid people who vote against their own interests, you never know. They'll smile at you, they'll call you their friend, and they'll gladly set the room on fire with you in it, thinking they're helping. Stupid people are chaos wrapped in flesh. They will never truly know the harm they cause until it's too late. And that right there is the real problem.
So, y'all make this song that says, "Oh my God, I will vote for Donald Trump," right? 500,000 Cubans, Venezuelans, and Haitians have to self-deport by a deadline. I kind of feel bad for the Haitians, because they really, some of them really didn't have nothing to do with it. But, you know what, never mind. That's none of my business. That's none of my business at all. Yo, 92%, what y'all about to do? Because I'm about to clean out my garage, because it's kind of messy in here. And it's kind of it's time for spring cleaning. So yeah, what are y'all doing? Yep, that's none of my business. Yep, this is none of my business.
Just ordered the deportation of 500,000 Cuban, Venezuelan, and Haitian immigrants that came here the right way. And my question for my fellow Cubans is, are y'all still feeling special? My entire childhood was spent being fed the narrative that our family came here the right way, and that everybody else that's complaining about being deported, well, they just need to go back to where they came from, start the process over legally. I don't want to ever hear another Cuban American say some shit like that ever again. I'm gonna laugh in your face. Maybe you all will finally realize that no matter how much you try to blend into white Western European culture, no matter how much you try to pretend that you don't eat ham croquettes for breakfast and that you've never had ajiaco for dinner in your entire life, the problem is that Donald Trump is never going to see you as human. It's always been about racism. Here's the part that we like to talk about in our homes when no one else is listening, but I'm gonna go ahead and say the quiet part out loud. You all think that you are better than every other type of Latino American. Conservative Cuban Americans, MAGA Cuban Americans, think that you are better than every other flavor of Latino American. And now we have proof. You are no different. We are no better than anybody else. No matter how many times you place your vote for Donald Trump and the Republican Party, they are still going to see you as subhuman. And even if you hang your hat on the fact that you came here the right way, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter to him, because if he wants you gone, he's going to find a way to disappear you.
You know what cracks me the fuck up is that he told you to your faces he did not care about you. All he wanted was your vote. Ay, coño, carajo.
The Cuban Americans celebrating Trump's win just over a month ago, and Trump announced yesterday that over 500,000 Cuban Americans with citizenship are going to have their citizenship revoked, and they will be deported. 1.6 million Cuban Americans, 68% of Cuban Americans voted for Trump. Yeah. And over, I think it's 530,000 Cuban Americans, as of yesterday, are having their citizenship revoked. You got to know that all of those 2.4 million Cuban Americans, they're going to know somebody, some family member or friend that is going to be deported by Trump. This is a classic example of stupid people voting against their best interests, or best self-interest. It's, you know, and you see it here in Canada all the time. And, you know, wake up, you know, people. I'm telling you, I'm not saying that Cuban people are stupid. I'm saying they should have known. The people that voted for Trump, that are Cuban Americans, they should have known. He told them straight to their faces that he didn't like them, you know. So they should have known that that this was going to happen. But FAFO, I'm telling you, and you know, I just hope people wake up. You know, people that would vote for Pierre Poilievre here in Canada, because yeah, he's exactly like Trump.
Latinos, come here. Well, the ones who didn't vote for him. Guess what? Trump is signing an executive order to keep countries out of the U.S., their citizens permanently banned from ever coming into the U.S. And he put North Korea, Afghanistan, Syria on that list, countries we would expect. But also, he's got Cuba on that list. How's that? Oh my God. They went all out. Even had a song for him, dancing to their Papi Trump. And he doesn't want them here. He didn't put Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, any other Latin country. But he's got Cuba on that list. He is permanently banning Cubans from ever coming into the U.S. again. They were the biggest Latino group gunning for their Papi Trump. They even made up a song for him and everything. They were his biggest supporters. And it's the only Latino country besides Venezuela that is on that list. He doesn't want them here. Oh my God. If you're Cuban, how do you feel about that? He doesn't want y'all. He doesn't like y'all. He didn't put any other Latin country but yours on that list. You wanted your puppy Trump? Well, now you're going to have your puppy Trump.
532,000 legal immigrants to the U.S. have 30 days to self-deport or they will be arrested by Homeland Security. This just came out on CBS News. This is Friday, March 21st. This just came out. The U.S. is going to revoke the legal status of more than 500,000 migrants. And make no mistake, these are legal. People came here under the Biden administration under something called a CHNV, and it was a path to make sure there would be less illegal migration, so they gave them a way to legally migrate. Except Trump has now decided that he's just going to revoke that. The termination of their work permits and deportation protections under an immigration authority known as parole will take effect in late April, 30 days after March 25th, according to a notice from the federal government. The move will affect immigrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela who flew to the U.S. under the Biden CHNV program. The Department of Homeland Security said it will seek to arrest and deport those subject to the policy change if they fail to depart the U.S. in the next 30 days, and they're urging them to use the newly repurposed Customs and Border Protection Home smartphone app to register for self-deportation. That sounds yikes. DHS says it retains the authority to target them, anybody who arrived under this program before the 30-day period lapses. So basically, if you're here, if you're in the U.S. under one of those programs, you have 30 days to get out or obtain one of the other things that they say that you might be able to have, or even less than that if the Department of Homeland Security decides to go after you. So that's barbaric. And honestly, like, I don't even have words. Sending people back to Cuba, sending people back to Nicaragua, Venezuela, which I'm sure have long and rich and beautiful cultures, but Venezuela has been under a crisis for quite some time. Nicaragua has a dictator. Cuba is a communist country. What are we doing? I mean, not we, but just we, the royal world is... What is going on in America? The rest of the world is basically just looking on in shock at this point. I fear it's only going to get worse.
Where are my Miami Cubans at? Stand up for what you supported in 2024. Stand up for what you supported. Oh, you thought he wasn't talking about you, right? He wasn't talking about you. He was talking about the illegals. Even though we tried to tell you, if your skin color was brown and you talk Spanish, he wants you out of the country. You thought, oh, he's not talking about me. We tried to warn you. The mass deportations in U.S. history affect communities of color indiscriminately. How do they know if you're undocumented or not? They're going to harass you. So even revoking legal status for 500,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans, how are they going to find out which ones just lost their legal status? Where are they going to find them? They're going to be searching these neighborhoods, as they have been already. You know, when I moved from Michigan to Florida, I was young, naive. I didn't know what had happened in 2000, but I was shocked when I learned that Cubans in Miami were Republicans. Because coming from Michigan, I knew who the Republicans were. And they couldn't stand the Cubans. And it's like, you're voting for people who can't stand you. They tolerate you because you stay in Miami and you're not venturing out to Iowa. You're not venturing out into the Midwest to realize that the people you're supporting want you out of their country. FAFO. But stand up and own what you supported. Round of applause. Greatness is here. Enjoy it.
Latinos for Trump. Specifically, Miami Cubans for Trump. Bring your ass. You bitches on my docket today. Y'all are the definition of political pygmies. You're so eager, like ready, willing, and fucking able to go from one dictator to the fucking next. Now, I know y'all not systematically accustomed to freedom, but trust me, it's a good thing. Now, when it comes to you white presenting Cubans, I can understand, whether it be you naturally look that way or, you got the work done. I can understand your delusion in terms of, having proximity to whiteness and thinking that you're going to get a seat at the table. And while you may get a seat, it is with the expressed understanding that the moment you act familiar, them envelopians gonna put you in your place quick, fast, and in a motherfucking hurry by letting you know that you're simply a guest. But again, you look the part, so I can understand. But it's you Celia Cruz looking motherfuckers that blow me. Have you niggas looked in a fucking mirror? Like, let's keep it a fucking Goya bean in this bitch. The closest you're getting to a seat at the table is looking at that motherfucker through the window while you cutting the grass. Like, it is what the fuck it is. But since y'all think y'all got it like that, let's try a little experiment. When ICE roll up to collect you niggas, Elian Gonzalez style, I want you to look them square in the face. And I want you to say these 5 words to them. I know black eye Cuban. And let me know how the fuck it goes. Send me a postcard with Fidel on the fucking front. And when they send you back home, I hope you can't take shit with you but your fucking MAGA merch. As a permanent reminder that the president you voted for is the same president that sent you fucking packing. For decades, we've been trying to give y'all a wake-up call. I bet now you niggas wish you would have picked up the phone.
Don't be the bigger person today. Be the person that helps them understand that sometimes when you fuck around, you find out.
Yeah, so welcome back fam. And now Cubans for Trump who work under Joe Biden's program that allowed temporary legal status have now 30 days to get out of the United States of America. This is after Trump administration has revoked that program by Joe Biden. But again, guys, I think this was something that was avoidable because, you all knew the consequences of the election. You all knew whatever you are going to face after voting for Trump, but you still came out in large numbers and still voted for Trump. Project 2025 was everywhere. People were trying to educate you all. People were trying to tell you what Project 2025 was all about, but you never listened. You still came out and voted for Trump. When black people came out in large numbers, when black people tried to warn you all against voting for Trump, you never listened to them. But now you are here, you are facing the consequences. You are here crying because of something that you did. But guys, it's a high time you are paying the price of whatever you did. Yeah, so guys, let me know what you think about this down in the comment section. And guys, if you are coming across this channel for the very first time, I kindly ask you to subscribe to this channel. Yeah, so fam, until the next episode, for now, goodbye.